and minister to your spirit in ways that it's going to feel like it's uncommon. But at the same time, strategically, I know as well as the Lord knows that although you hear something that goes against your programming, you're still also going to believe that none of this information has anything to do with you because of how you see the world, how you actually operate on a day-to-day basis, to the point to where you're so programmed to only see life the way that you're seeing it, which is you're committing to living the wrong life in this one particular type of experience, because the world that you're experiencing, 99% of those individuals that you know have no idea who they are. So they come to social media and they try to hide amongst other individuals who don't know who they are. They basically are being seen by the wrong people. And when they're being seen by the wrong people, there's so much hurt and turmoil in that particular life that they come to social media and they do the same thing. You heard me? They fit in, they follow trends, they never create their own identity. They create pages where the particular page speaks faith, but there's no individual that's on that particular page as far as someone of color, someone, any type of color. You heard me? There's individuals who have what's considered as faceless pages. And in that faceless page, what is the difference between a faceless page and a page that has just pictures on it? Headshots. Is that a photo album or is that social media? Because as long as you still can't figure out the difference on behalf of the life that you're living, that regardless of whatever age you are right now, you still haven't created your own identity yet in the life that you've been living, and you consider that as life. Whoever it is that this is your first time coming across my live, I am Tommy Durrell. Some of the stuff that I'm going to say is going to go against your programming. There was something that happened earlier that I'm going to talk about this evening on behalf of what the Spirit brought to my attention this morning, and I want to share it with the community. So bear with me, because we already know that one today created one day closer to never waking up again. A multitude of you went through this day already in preparation for tomorrow, which everything that happened today, you totally missed. Anything that was fruitful, anything that had wisdom in it, you totally missed it because you're choosing to keep your mind focused on one situation every week, week after week. Think about it. Friday is your holiday. It don't even matter if it's not a real holiday, but in your mind, that's your holiday. And you so excited week after week to hurry up to do nothing on behalf of your purpose or behalf of your calling. Still till this day, you don't believe that you have a calling in that particular life. Everybody's telling you the same thing, and to the point to where they really ain't got to tell you no more, because you're a part of an elite group of individuals who are killing the spirits of children, and you're doing it single-handedly with no conviction in that particular world. And then when you try to have a different type of experience, like whenever you come to certain lives and you're hearing a different type of way of looking at life, it sounds so intriguing. But at the same time, there's no change that ever happens. So it's just like you treat what you see on social media just like you treat it in church. There's a sermon that's given, and in that sermon, there's going to be one thing that you pick up from that particular sermon that you take along with you throughout your week. But by the time you get outside to the car, that particular word is gone. You don't have time to actually read the word throughout the week. So that's the only time that you're only around individuals who are in the presence of the Lord. When in actuality, the presence of the Lord is Always. You can always tap in, plug into the presence of the Lord wherever you at. It don't matter what kind of situation. You can have a crack pipe in your hand right now. You heard me? You can change this particular narrative. All you is you're always one decision away from a completely different life. Now, do you believe that is the question? Because it really got to a point to where in the world that you're experiencing, I know that you've basically been lying to everybody that you've ever met in your life, in your entirety. How can I say that? Because you come from a family that was taught to manipulate children. And at a point in time in your story, you used to be a children or a child, to the point to where you still do the same things. Y'all still have this one operation. Everybody's committed to lying to them children you got to think about it, it's a pipeline. You have a kid, that kid gets totally deeply manipulated by everybody that's in the store. But at the same time, nobody holding these conversations. At the same time, some of this stuff reaches the news, and at the same time, they don't go back and get this type of conversation, get this type of understanding on what's really been going on, why that child act the way that that child act. Think about it, and you'll all be so surprised whenever the cops show up. I can't believe that he did this. I can't believe that he did this. Well, my baby, y'all have been deeply manipulating the boy or the girl for their entirety. Just like you've been deeply manipulated for the entirety of your life. And at the same time, you ain't checking nobody. You heard me? You let everybody just go scot-free. Now, present day, I have the understanding that I know that I'm chosen. So when I come here and I give a message, I know for sure that you're not going to turn against your parents. There's some of y'all that'll never turn against your parents, and I fully understand that. You heard me? But the scripture says that he knew you intimately before you were born. Before he placed you in your mother's womb, he set you apart. So you were supposed to come and live a set apart life. So you're living the wrong life because you're choosing to just be saved. You're living the wrong life and you're doing it with no conviction. And that's a particular life that really nobody can help you with. You got to really understand that there's another world that's inside this world. But at the same time, the world that you see is just an experience. And in that experience, there's so much time that's being wasted. And the beautiful thing about it is you can't even see it. That's the, hey, my baby, you can't even see that. You heard me? Think about it like this. Some of y'all been coming to these lives and you somewhat have a ulterior motive why you even watch. Sometimes it don't have to be nothing but this wisdom, you heard me? Because I already have the understanding on what it is. To all the witches that's out there, my baby, I see you. You heard me? To all those energy vampires out there, my baby, I see you. You heard me? Think about it. I would not be good for you. You heard me? The reason why I wouldn't be good for you, I'm gonna speak to that right now. You heard me? Because I got one of my little homegirls told me today I need to speak towards that particular spirit so that way that spirit can go ahead and go about his business. So let me speak to that spirit within you right quick. She always be doing this, man. You know what I'm saying? When you let people get too close, anyway, watch this. My baby, I wouldn't be good for you because I know all your secrets. I know how you want to try to treat me when in actuality, I came into your world to help to create positive change. So you're going to look at me as an opportunity when in actuality, my baby, I can't be an opportunity because that's not why he sent me. You heard me? Think about it. In your particular world, in your particular story, I'm going to read you your rights in your story. You still mad at your baby daddy about something that you created yourself. In order for him to become your baby daddy, that means he had to go off of your initial yes. And in that initial yes, you made yourself believe, or you made him believe, that you were single. When in actuality, there's nobody. There's every man and every woman has somebody that can get their attention regardless of whatever the situation they got going on. So all of y'all that sit up here on a day-to-day basis still make yourself believe that y'all single. And knowing just this earlier, I told y'all that until you divorce all these individuals you've had sex with, then my baby, you walking around with 7 spirits. And in those 7 spirits, I can see every one of those particular spirits because I've been in that particular world before. I know what you're going through. You heard me? But at the same time, I wouldn't be good for you, my baby. I would, because I'm gonna just be real with you. The reason why I wouldn't be good for you is because you know and you can feel like if you was to deal with me, you were gonna have to change. And none of y'all willing to change in that world. You heard me? Y'all only want to keep getting the same situation, which you watch. Let me show you something. This morning, the Spirit revealed. I ain't even had a chance to go in Proverbs yet. You heard me. This morning, the Spirit revealed that every woman who has gotten married that has hyphenated their name was a woman that manipulated that man into marrying them. Every woman that has gotten married without accepting her call from the Lord, I'm gonna break it down certain ways because I know I gotta continue to dumb myself down to hold certain conversations because I want you to be able to understand it. Because if I go too deep, you're gonna be like, man, well, what is he talking about? My baby, I'm talking about you. Watch this. Every woman, I knew one of my sisters was gonna get mad at me earlier. So I figure I'll go ahead and just break it all the way down so that way y'all can see what I'm talking about. Every woman that has gotten married, that had hyphenated her name, manipulated that man in that world to marry her. Now, chances are you already remarried at this point. Okay. So you went through a divorce before. Okay. So you went through a relationship before that marriage. Okay. So when you was in relationships throughout your experience in life without the Lord, you got to understand, you came to live set apart, but you wasn't living set apart. So you found yourself introducing yourselves to relationships. In those relationships, in that world, you can only connect with a familiar spirit that is connected to the family that you chose over God in that season. Not only that, every man's sense, because you got to understand, when you broke your virginity, you didn't break your virginity because you wanted to. You broke it because you was influenced to. So that was your first door opening to the devil. You heard me? Because what nobody in your story told you, that whatever demonic doors that the individual family that you dealing with, that those particular doors, those particular demons get linked to your particular family, your particular demons. And I know that. But since I know that, I also know that there was never a change in nothing that you ever did, nobody that you ever met, because at the same time, you've been divorced before. And in that divorce, right now, with you hearing that I said that every woman that has hyphenated her name have manipulated that man into marrying him, that's not the part of the story that you tell about the divorce. You only tell your part that still make you look good, when in actuality, when it comes to men, let's say that there's 5 men that go to the gym together. All 5 men are married, but strategically, one of them has a wife that has her name hyphenated. What type of pressure do you think that is on an actual individual when everybody going according to the plan in that world? Think about it. But now is a situation where you're in a new marriage and you're just now accepting the Lord fully. So that means everything you've done before goes away. But at the same time, you also need understanding that if you went and got remarried, you know, you went ahead and remarried before you got to the Lord, you went on ahead and remarried another familiar spirit. You never married another, you know what I'm saying, nothing different, because at the same time, this is your story. So however your story is taking place at that point in time, yeah, let's say he didn't accept his call and everything, and he's working for the Lord. But in your situation, you never got to that. So in your mind, you got to think, chances are when you and your new husband met, you was going through a situation. You was going through some type of situation where you call it self-isolation, you tag God to it, and then you say it's healing. Now all of a sudden you come out, you in a relationship all of a sudden. And then next thing you know, you get mad. I thought she was just saying that she was just over here crying. Talking about how life just been treating her wrong. She tired being single and all this other stuff. Life is getting lonely. And then here comes the shining armor, as usual, just like in every other particular situation. Now, watch this. Let me show you something. To all of y'all that still having sneaky links in that particular life, I need you to understand something. There's always going to be a retest. And every time you fail that test, it's like you starting the process all over again. You and your baby mama, y'all still getting it in? Whatever the particulars may be, whoever it is, your sneaky link from back in high school, y'all used to connect from long time ago. Think about it. This is the strength of that umbilical cord, because you're having sex with everybody he's had sex with too. And they're still not going to do nothing when it comes towards how you feel about sex on your own. My baby, you operating out of a prostitute spirit in that spirit. That's just like going smoke cigarettes. However many little smokes they got in the pack, my baby, if you smoke, I need you to understand that every individual cigarette is a different spirit that you're feeding. So how long have you been feeding that spirit? Some of y'all women like to smoke Black and Milds in their life. You heard me? I used to be on the Black and Milds too. I ain't lying. Like Black and Mild jazz, that was me. You heard me? Nah, some of y'all like that original. You heard me? But then some of the little chicks like that wine. My baby, that make my head hurt. You heard me? I can't deal nothing with that. But anyway, I need you to focus. As you can see, I've been in that world before. But at the same time, my baby, I wouldn't be no good for you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be trying to promote me in that world. My baby, I don't need no promotion, because everything I do, I'm doing for the Lord. So I don't need your help on behalf of promoting me. Go and tell, listen to what I'm talking about as promotion. I ain't talking about doing no posts on social media. What I'm talking about is you're going to go and tell your familiar spirits, your monitoring spirits all about me. You ever been in a situation, fellas, where you've been on a FaceTime with a little woman and she make the decision to bring somebody else on a FaceTime with y'all without your consent? My baby, you're undisciplined. In that particular world, I've asked you countless times, my baby, don't just treat me like that red thing around baloney. You heard me? I have the understanding too, ladies, that it's a privilege to hold a conversation with me as well. But I don't have pride with it, because my heart is for the people. My heart is to help other individuals to get out of whatever they're stuck in. You heard me? But at the same time, you'll treat this opportunity like an opportunity of a lifetime, but you'll still mess it up because you still operate in your flesh. My baby, you can't do nothing for me if you still operate in your flesh. I've had worldly women already. And my baby, if you listen, plain and simple, if you straddling the fence with accepting the Lord as your savior, my baby, you're a worldly woman. Because there you know where the truth at, and you still don't want it. You heard me? From the man that created you, you don't even want the truth from him, but you'll sit there and talk with these airhead type dudes in that world that doesn't know who they are, and y'all mingle together. And that's what makes you excited. That's what you get up early in the morning for. Think about it. And then some of them dudes be already having a woman and you don't care. You can care less. You heard me? My baby, I know that. I know how y'all operate. You heard me? There won't be nothing new that's happening, because at the same time, the devil has his same particular tactics, and you still have your same particular tactics all these years later. But at the same time, you tell people, I appreciate you coming. It's about to make some more noise. It's coming, you heard. My baby, I'm not good for you. You heard me. I'm breaking it down to you ASAP. That way, you don't waste your time trying to waste my time. Because at the same time, you only get 2 conversations with me. I was listening to one of my sisters on her live earlier. She said the same thing. It makes so much sense. You got 2 conversations with me. If you want to waste your 2 conversations on talking about your trauma, after I already told you the first time, my baby, look, it's just around the corner. Just look at it a different way. I'm telling you, it's not what you think. You're making it seem like this is what it is, when in actuality, that is nothing but an illusion. Life is nothing but an illusion for what's to come. We supposed to come down here and share our lives through the word, for God to you, so that way we can help wake you up. But at the same time, you still got to be stubborn, because in that world, that's how you operate. You operate in that type of situation, when in actuality, my baby, that's not cute. You heard me? All that's going to do is keep you single. But them same little dudes that you've been messing with from back in the day, them same little dudes that still can get your attention, got to think about it. You was never single. Because guess what? Some of y'all went on ahead. Y'all was married and then got a divorce. And then within 2 years, you already pregnant with somebody else. But what if I thought you was married. Oh, you over with that. So you healed just that quick. So what I'm telling you, my baby, is chances are, now that you done sought out the Lord has heard your cry. You have that connection with the Lord. Everything else go away. But at the same time, that situation that you got yourself back into, that's another familiar spirit that's helping to hold you from accepting your call. That's the reason why your husband basically is on board with your family on trying to keep you from accepting your call. That's why you and your husband are basically going through different types of emotions, because y'all know that graduation date has long time passed. Y'all had even got to a point to where y'all saying y'all Christian, and y'all said, yeah, I'm gonna stick around until the children become 18. And now that the children are 18, what's next? You got 2 people sleeping in 2 different rooms in that particular life. And when they go on Sunday, they supposedly together. My baby, I know that. And since I know that, I know too much of your information. And since I know too much of your information, how will you even come at me? What will you even be able to talk to me about, besides the same thing you try with every familiar spirit that's going to accept that version of you? So I need you to understand that every male in transition in their life that you've ever experienced was only good enough for the broken you. So why would I come and get with a broken you? Because the reason why I couldn't come and get with a broken you is because you still haven't realized that broken crayon still color. In that world, you forgot what makes you unique, my baby. You heard me. You done had a few children, or whatever the situation is, that you forgot what makes you unique. You heard me. My baby, I see you. I absolutely see you, and I fully understand. But at the same time, I would still be no good for you. You can use me as a cheat code. I can tell you what you're going through and everything, but at the same time, what will it actually help? Because there's a multitude have spoken to me, and at the same time, I gotta listen to them try to pretend to be interested in me so we can hold a conversation. My baby, I see where you weak at. I'm trying to talk to that weakness to try to help you to build that weakness, but you just ready. You seeing it your way. My baby, you're still operating out of your will. I'm showing you the Lord has given me this. My baby, you're still operating out of your own will. And where you operate in that area, that's a particular spirit that you haven't confronted yet. So you make yourself believe that I'm gonna come into your life to fight all these spirits for you. No, my baby, you must be crazy. You heard me? I got my own. I got my own that I gotta fight. So who is it fair to? Because at the same time, in that world, you say that you're busy. You're too busy for all kind of stuff. But busy doing what? Busy doing everything for others except for yourself. You run yourself crazy on behalf of others. But then when it comes to your cup, my baby, you so empty. You trying to pour out an empty cup, and you've been empty for years at this point. And every time you think that you're about to seek a change the game, change the level, one of your people die. And as soon as one of your people die, we already know that you're ready to grieve. You'll even call the job and tell them you need some time off. Time off to do what? You still living the same life you was living whenever that person was here. I'm still seeing happy belated birthdays, dad. Happy belated birthdays, mom. My baby, how long are you going to grieve that? Because at the same time, them people no longer here, but at the same time, in your head, they never left. So since they never left, I need you to think what you're saying is what you receive, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you still mad that your mama not here? You still mad that your daddy not here? Guess what? That means they haven't gotten to where your mind is telling you that they're at. They can't go and even experience heaven because you're too selfish to let them go. You want them back. Come back, please. I would love for you to come back. My baby, come back to get what? Come back to do what? What are you doing? But why are you doing it this way? Think about it. You came into this world with unlimited potential, but at the same time, what kind of potential you came with? Material items. You came in here with material items, and in those material items, that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you you. But at the same time, y'all call it a love language in their life. Think about it like this. When you very first took that test, the love language test, and you found out what your love language was, your mindset locked on that particular avatar. Just like those of y'all that's worried about these horoscopes on a day-to-day basis, you're locking in your mind on an avatar, and in that avatar, there's still no experience of your actual identity. So whenever your season come around, you're now this. Whenever this other season come around, you're now that. My baby, so you came to fit in. The Bible said that you came to be set apart. You're living the wrong experience. And you make excuses in it. You still blaming others in that particular excuse, but at the same time, my baby, it's always been you. It don't matter how many degrees you got in that particular world. It's still always been you. Because the reason why you ain't got the degrees didn't have nothing to do with anything. The degrees had something to do with the manipulation, because you want a particular status. And in that status, you want a certain type of man to reach you at that status. That's telling people that you're not going to deal with nobody that just got a high school education. That's what that's telling people. And then on top of that, you do all that to then manipulate a man into marrying you, and then you hyphenate your last name. That way, if things don't work out, nothing changed, right? But guess what, my baby? Nothing changed either, because that new man was just nothing but a familiar spirit. Because that's what they taught you, right? They taught you to go and find you. Think about it, it's cliche. Go and find you a man like your daddy that your mama lied to you about. Or go find you a woman like your mama that your mama lied to you about. It's either on either side. You heard me? Fellas, they got some of y'all out here that's engaged. And you engaged in that world. And since you engaged in that world, you have no idea that you're about to marry a familiar spirit. And in that familiar spirit, that particular experience, let me break down the spirit, since if somebody don't have no idea, there's a contract that is signed with that particular family in the spirit realm. And on that contract, the girl can only be this, and boy can only be this. That's the characteristics that both of them are going to have. But at the same time, once it's over with, at the very bottom in small words that say the female is going to point at the male and blame him on everything. And y'all both signed off on it, you and that particular spirit, which your information is already signed before you came. That's the reason why the Lord put you in that family. He selected the family that you're in. You just look like those individuals. You didn't come to be family with those individuals. You came to be the change that that family needs, so that way all the generational curses can be broken off their family. But you don't have the courage for that because you still don't believe that you came here to change something. You'll change your furniture. You'll change the pillows on the bed. You'll change outfits for the season. But at the same time, when it comes towards the body, when it comes towards the physical individual, that individual has never changed. She's always remained the same. So since she's never changed, you're only an adult, but you still have a little girl mindset. And in that little girl mindset, you got to think, every one of your stories was when you was younger. So now that you're older, some of y'all still ain't realized, my baby, you've never been single. Think about it, the wonderful world of social media. You've never been single. Somebody always talking to somebody strategically. But at the same time, all the dudes you talk to, all the dudes you like is the ones you gave it up to. Now, the ones that you don't like, where are they now? Think about it. The Lord had been trying to get you back on course, to bring you somebody that had another opportunity, another particular type of way of talking to you, that you can feel the Lord through him, through that particular conversation, just like you're doing right now. My baby, I need you to understand that this is a safe space. You heard me? I'm not trying to manipulate you in no kind of way, because I already know that they've been manipulating up until your 40s. Whoever's still here that's older than you, them people still manipulating because you're living their life, in that life that you're actually calling life. When in actuality, you see what they doing, and guess what? Once you get to that age, the devil is showing you where you're going. You ain't going nowhere. You're just waiting for your turn to be in the middle at a funeral. But like you said, you want to be married in their world. So how you want to be married in their world? There's certain things that you're just not willing to do. Like, be honest with yourself. Accept accountability. Once you accept that you were sent here by God for God, and you commit to holding conversations and reading your word on a day-to-day basis, my baby, everything gonna start to change. But at the same time, at the very beginning, this is what I need you to understand. It's not going to change ASAP, because at the same time, you still accustomed to those 7 spirits that you have. Them 7 spirits that keep you only thinking of nothing. Keep you only thinking of how can I go viral in a world that 99% of people don't know who. Watch this. I kept telling the analogy about Facebook. Let's say Facebook came out in 2020. You connect to 2,000 people on Facebook. You've never changed, not a person, since 2020. Since 2020, we 5 years later. You're finding yourself being seen by the wrong people. Individuals like myself and my sisters that's doing things, you can't see yourself doing that because that terrifies you. How can you be terrified and you saying that you're grown? We're all teachers, one way or another. You don't have to have the degree to teach. Watch this. You're a teacher. Aren't you teaching your children something? My baby, all you teaching them is how to kill their spirit, just like yours has been tarnished. The only way to repair the spirit that you have within is you have to go back to God. You heard me? You can get prophecy. They can prophesy over you all they want. You heard me? At the same time, nothing gonna actually happen, because nothing changes, and nothing changes. None of the type of dudes that you pick. You gotta understand. You always pick the dude. If you like him back, he gonna get some action. That's guaranteed. Betting 1,000%. There's not a dude that you was attracted to that that's my best friend, that's my homeboy. Okay, we see what to the fellas that's out there. Y'all still in that world, and y'all get mad at the women for having God friends. My brother, this is what I need you to understand. Why keep that woman from having God friends? Think about it, ladies. He's openly telling you that he's insecure. And you'll sit there and create a relationship with him on the strength of him telling you that he insecure. Because guess what? In that world, you a strong black woman or a strong white woman or a strong woman. My baby, that nobody needs you to be that strong. Because at the same time, you're about to raise somebody. A lot of y'all like them type of dudes that y'all like that y'all can raise. You can see that he needs a mother figure. Oh, so you feel that sorry for him. Think about it. And he gonna come with all kind of stuff. You heard me. Next thing you know, he taking your car, riding it all day, and then he'll come back and pick you up from work and you ain't got no gas. You heard me. What happens at that moment? Now you back doing the same thing that you was doing the last time that you said that you was healing. I appreciate you, my baby. At what point do you heal? They got a multitude of women that are the women. They got some healed women on this thing. You heard me. I'm learning from them. You heard me. One thing about me, if I can't learn from you, my baby, you're not gonna keep me around. You heard me? I need to know, because at the same time, I know that you have a puzzle piece for me, but you don't even want to operate in who you supposed to be. So that means I may never get my puzzle piece, just like the people that's assigned to your call. They'll never get their puzzle piece that you owe them. The Lord sent you down here with something to give back to the world, and you being stingy with it. You heard me? Think about it. How can you find yourself being stingy in a world where you don't know who you are? You've never created your own identity. There's men that's going to come into your life if you ever come across one, because you got to understand, certain men not going to even say nothing. If we in the same room, you heard me, and I'm scanning the particular room, I can tell by your persona, the energy that you come into the room with. If you come into the room all timid, my baby, you already told me you live in worry, doubt, and fear, and I ain't got to talk to you. I can look at your profile and see the stuff that you post and let me know if you live in worry, doubt, and fear. You heard me? You've never been live. You've never shown your mouth moving on any of your social media platforms. All you do when your mouth does move is a voiceover. Or you up here supposedly doing a TikTok dance. Or having your children doing some little demonic little dance. And you rooting them on in the background. We can hear you, my baby. You heard me? You believe in your baby. You know what you really doing to your baby. If you really knew what you was doing to your baby single-handed, and guess what? In every story, somehow you the hero. You heard me? Everybody loved their mama. My baby, that should be some pressure that's put on you, because at the same time, if everybody the same, then who's really the woman of the year, like we was talking about yesterday in Proverbs 30? People are in awe. People are disappointed when the woman of the year get her crown. Because there's some people in that world that knows you, that only knows you as your nickname, and they is not trying to see you get to that. So they had to apply that pressure to make sure you decide not to go and do that. I had a home girl. She had a competition, a fitness competition that she had been planning since last year. And in her plans, as time got close, I appreciate you, Shaka. As time got close in her plans, one of her friends, close friends, committed suicide. Outside of her close friend committing suicide, they told her that her mother's condition has just worsened. So she called me to tell me about her situation, because she know that I'm not about to sugarcoat nothing for her, because I see the hand of the Lord on her. But at the same time, just because I see the hand of the Lord on you, you might not see yourself on that in that particular light. So I got to understand that. I got to be cognizant of that, because at the same time, I can't want it more than you, my baby. So she told me about the two different occasions, and the competition was right on the other side a few days later from getting this information. And she was like, I'm going to cancel my competition and go and sit with my mama. My question to her was, my baby, so you've been planning this competition all year. And the interesting thing about it is, they've never said, not ever, not one time ever, never ever, not no kind of particular podcast or news channel that said such and such didn't die because her daughter came and she was there. Oh, baby, think about it. Whatever the situation is, you need to stop trying to think about it. Y'all are trying to be God in certain situations in that world. My baby, God is good enough to be God himself. My baby, you ain't got to go try to be God. Oh, she knew that I was there, but she died because I was there. My baby, you put too much pressure on yourself. You heard, man? In that particular world, my baby, they tell you that everybody go to heaven, and you telling your children the same thing. So that's the reason why they ain't gonna be disciplined either, because they watching the tree. Think about it. Y'all two in the house. It's not just you now. It's the familiar spirit that's next to you. He might be next to you right now. You don't have to lower it down. You don't have to lower it down, because I need him to hear it too. I need him to hear it too, because at the same time, y'all both know that this relationship has capped off. But at the same time, y'all still supposed to stay in there because of the kids. But at the same time, you got to think about it. Once y'all leave, think about it. The other one gonna still be left with the children. But you never thought about that. You decide to put that man on child support in that world because you wanted to get at him, because you felt like, you got to think about it. You manipulated him into marrying you. And then you double back, decide to go through the government to make sure that he take care of his responsibility after you did everything you did to him that they don't know nothing about. What's your story in child support court? Did you tell them that he supposedly was basically taunting the child, making him cry? What did you come up with? Because some of y'all went to school for that, and then y'all use exactly what they told y'all in the books in your own particular situation to leave other individuals to always have that advantage. There's some men that's out there, my brothers, you are currently engaged to a narcissist. And my brother, you don't even know it. You heard me? You have absolutely no idea what you're about to go through. But at the same time, it's just a class that you're taking. And in that class that you're taking, you have to understand that that particular class is only designed to make sure that you don't accept your call. And they're going to apply pressure to you to make sure that you accept your call. But you're going to look at it in the carnal mind that somebody is trying to do you wrong. When in actuality, what they're actually doing is just preying on your PREYING, on your trauma. And that don't have to be the trauma. That is the trauma that you grew up with on behalf of the family that you connected yourself to. Because at the end of the day, remember, you came to be set apart. You never came to be family. Is anybody learning anything? You heard me? Y'all learning something from this? Anybody that's brand new, my baby, listen, I'm here for you. You heard me? All my other ladies, they know I'm here for you. I want you to hear from a male's aspect. I know you would appreciate that. You heard me? Because sometimes y'all don't have males that can talk like this. I had to go through a lot to be able to get to this, just like you have to go through a lot. Life is supposed to create a diamond, not a victim. Everything that you've been through was just a class that you was taking. In that particular class is a variety of tests. Whatever test you pass, that means you're healed in this particular area. Life is nothing but a curriculum. Everything that you've experienced, all the knowledge that you had from every one of these particular situations, you have to go down and go into your shadow to find a specific story that you keep telling as a victim and start there. Go into the shadow and ask the Lord to help you inside that shadow so you can see that you're just looking at it from a different angle than He is. Because a lot of times you've been trying to figure out what was the Lord, and the Lord, He did swoop in within your sin, but at the same time, the Lord don't operate in repeated sins. You tell people that you're single, but at the same time, you're having sex with a demon. 2 days ago, a day ago, let's say the previous night, let's say tonight you would happen to be out at the bar or having drinks somewhere at a restaurant, and you meet somebody for the first time. You was just doing something last night, but in your conversation, you supposedly not taking him serious. So it's cool for you to hold conversation with a new guy, not realizing in that life you've always been married since the very first person that you had sex with. And then in this life, some of y'all will never get married in the physical, because at the same time, there's some that will get married, and guess what they'll do? They'll get that man, they'll manipulate that man, and they'll hyphenate their names. And nobody's going to ever say anything about it. I know that 99, can we hear your testimony? Hey, listen to me. I'm giving my testimony. That's the thing about it, my baby. You heard me. I'm giving my life experience to you because that's what you're supposed to be doing, what you've been through. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be sharing your life with others. And as long as you allow the people you connected to make you believe that they care about you, my baby, them people don't care about you because they watching you do what they do. As long as you don't do nothing different, because think about it, once I started going live back in 2020, one of my favorite aunts called me. I see that you on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about this, talking about that. As long as you don't say no names, everything good. Y'all think about it. The devil use whoever is close. Whoever you got close to you, whoever you've allowed into your heart, the devil is using against you right now, and you still can't see it. Every time you're about to commit to something, one of them call, one of the monitoring spirits call, and you be on the phone for hours. And then you'll find a high vibration like myself, and you want to tell me those stories when in actuality, my baby, that's really low. You haven't woken up yet. But there's a multitude that has woken up, and I'm loving finding all these beautiful spirits that I speak their language. They speak my language. There's some of y'all that still don't believe that there's people that's looking for you in this life, in this experience. You secluded yourself to never leaving home. You secluded yourself to never allowing God to change you. And you sitting in a world where you don't know who you are. There's a TV show. It's called Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time is a series of all our favorite story characters that forgot they're in a world where they forgot who they are. Remember Cinderella? Remember Rumpelstiltskin? Remember Peter Pan? All our favorites are in this show, and you can check it out when you get a chance. I couldn't keep watching it because, like, when you went, just watch season 1, because once they get to season 2, it's something like Manifest. Have y'all ever seen Manifest, where they're basically, this is how it started out. Let's say we up, us all 15 of us, we at the airport, and we're flying to, let's say we flying to another city or flying back home. We just coming off of a cruise or something. Watch this. What happened was the flight was ready, but at the same time, there were 4 seats that was full. So only 4 of us would have to stay. So let's say it would be me and my son and you and one of your babies. Okay. So what happened was the flight left, And then the next flight came and we got on the next flight to head to the same direction that they're going. But what happened is once we went up, we came down 5 years later. So everybody else then got older. Everybody else, let's say for instance, your mama died while we gone for them 5 years. And then once we drop, is when they tell you that your mama died 2 years ago. What type of emotion would you go through? Because at the same time, right now, chances are, if you never lost her yet, your mama can be at her 99 percentile right now. And guess what? She chilling just like you too. Y'all have absolutely no idea that, what's this? We in the month of May. Everybody on Facebook putting up these, maybe it was you too, putting up these little supposedly salutes to May, and my birthday is in 31 days. My birthday is in 14 days, and all this other stuff, this hoopla. If somebody died before that date come, what type of emotion that you gonna give? Because right now you claiming that you're so excited for what's to come, but you're so excited about something that was never there. What do I mean? Okay, your birthday is in May, my baby. It took you 9 months to actually come out your mother's womb. So your birthday was really 9 months ago. But this world has you so fed, full, that you believe that your birthday is coming this month. My baby, you deeply, I got a homegirl about to be a massage therapist. You deeply massaged, you heard me. In that particular world, my baby, you missing the actual mark in your world that you're experiencing. Think about, what's this? When I accepted the Lord as my Savior, I started to ask questions. You heard me. I love to ask him questions that I can't ask y'all because y'all will be intimidated by the question. Watch this. What if I asked him? Well, I asked him, but at the same time, he was like, you need to ask them instead of asking him. So watch this. What if that you was never supposed to experience a relationship outside of his until you found your calling or purpose? How much of your life you would clean up? Let that soak in. What if that we was never supposed to experience a relationship except the relationship with him on this journey, just like Jesus did? Think about it. How many baby mamas did Jesus have? Don't worry, I'll wait. To the fellas, think about it. Jesus had no baby mamas. What if you looking at this life all wrong? You don't want to, you don't want to commit to anything different. Everything is 50% more that you believe something else. But nothing is changing. And you still in that belief. Really think about it. Let's go deeper. You'd be sinless, that's right. But watch this. Not that I got you to answer that. Now that means you know. That means you should never fall into that sin again. But at the same time, I know that the small voice has to operate on you. If you have one of those spirits, that spirit is going to attack you within the next few days and going to test you because you just tried to call it out. You heard me? And there's a multitude that has no idea that they have spirits and they're afraid to call them out. They're afraid to actually talk to it, but they'll talk to it all day. That spirit will tell them what to do. Think about it. It's like you on a GPS all day. Every time somebody asks you a question, which one of you answer? There's 7 of y'all. Which one of y'all answer? You have a work you, where you're prideful in your work you. Your avatar when you go to work, or your avatar when you go to church, you got your nose up high. Everybody like, oh Lord, here she come. You heard me? But you one of the single ones that's in the church, and you dress so elegant. You dress better than a multitude of those men wives. So you go and you like to dress in color. This is what I need y'all to understand, fellas. Jezebel can't hide when it come with me, baby. You heard me? Think about it. Fellas, watch the colors, that loud stuff. The women they want to wear that loud stuff so that way they're going to be seen as soon as they walk in the room. Think about it. There are certain individuals out there that has this same type of spirit, and y'all operate in their spirit in certain places that y'all go, and y'all don't expect for nobody to see it. But my baby, I see you. You heard me. Some of y'all are going to think, well, Lord, he's tripping. What he talking about? He don't know what he talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, you don't have the relationship with the Lord. So I guess we even. Think about it. Anything that you hear me say, my baby, take it back to the word. You heard me? Take it back to the word and get the understanding. Just like, for instance, as I mentioned, in your first marriage, you manipulated that. Think about it. You really didn't have to manipulate your familiar spirit because your familiar spirit just went along with what you said. But in rage, you're going to say that you never said that. I was in a situation where I was told that if you don't come in me tonight, you need to go home. It was already on the late night. So I had a decision to make. And in that decision, that no one told me that I was about to get a narcissist pregnant. Because I was raised by a narcissist. That's where the connection is. That's where the trait came from. But in that trait, that spirit, it has nothing to do with the individual. It's the spirit that the individual holds. So, fellas, you still supposedly mad at your baby mama about something, or ladies, you supposedly still mad at your baby daddy about something. These are the individuals that's been trying to help you wake up. But in that world, they don't have no idea that's what they're going to do, because there's most of y'all males in transition that folds because that woman just talking to you how your mama talked to you. So that's familiar. So you go in your room. My brother, you operate in weakness. You heard me. I'm not saying that you're weak as a man. I'm definitely not saying that. What I'm saying is the avatar that you've created in that world, you're weak in that particular world. Think about Samson and Delilah. That man sat there and told her all his business. And what happened? She got him killed. Cut that ball hair and everything. You ever been in a situation where when you was mingling with a little chick that told you that she was single, and next thing you know, you end up meeting her ex out of the blue? Or next thing you know, you pull up one night and they got another pair of shoes in the room, and she trying to tuck that under the bed? My brother, it's out here. The women sitting at that, and they do good. They got something that'll do it with a straight face, bone. And then guess what? Some of y'all got narcissist friends that y'all basically help to manipulate your godchildren, because she would always call you to watch the child whenever she was going to do her dirt. And while the child is with you, you help the lie. So there's a multitude of men that's out here, that's in this world, that's still mad at their father on behalf of something that their mama created. But so many years has passed, and he'll never turn against his mother, which, my brother, I respect that. I respect that. But I can tell you, my mom was still alive, she'd have a problem with me. You heard me? Because at the same time, I understand that you can only, this is the conversation, my baby, I can understand that you didn't know. But at the same time, I didn't come here to be family. I came here to be set apart because y'all didn't tell me that's what I was supposed to be doing way a long time ago. Just think, if we would have been told, look, you got to get on board. Let's get into this word. Let's get this word into you. That way you can keep speaking. Just like, for instance, when they got these little boys that you've seen in the churches that be preaching sermons, and they like maybe 10 years old, 6 years old, something like that. Those are parents that knew that their child came to do something, just like everybody else came to do something. And look at what that child is already doing at a young age. That's just like yesterday. I sat back and I asked y'all, I said, I need y'all to start bringing some mature 20-year-olds that you're connected to. You see what happened? My baby, you don't care enough. You're hearing the word, but you do nothing with the word because you have a motive. There's one motive. You only operate one way. How you operate that one way, you do with every other thing. So you knew that you were coming, but what about what I asked for? Because at the same time, my calling is not for you. My calling is for the youth. That's the reason why I need to get to the youth, because I can't get your 40-year-olds to think nothing else different from what you used to. You'll kind of sway each way or whatever the deal is, but my baby, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the game. What are you doing with the game? What are you going to do with the information? Listen, I love the ones that are actually listening, because I know the ones that are listening, they're like, man, look, coach, that book coming tomorrow. You heard, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to go on this particular journey. We're going to get on this purpose-driven life. You heard me? We're going to figure out what it is that we're actually here for. There's so many of y'all, some beautiful women, and I can't get them to get on board to just encourage. Just plant seeds. That's all I need you to do at the very beginning. My baby, I'm not going to charge you for my services. I'm going to give you the game. I'm going to show you how to create your particular platforms as gardens. But at the same time, don't look at me in the flesh. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt. I'm here to show you what you've been missing. I'm here to pretend. I'm going to tell you what it is. My baby, I'm going to prepare you for your husband. Now, I'm telling you, I can prepare you for your husband, because if you talk to me 2 to 3 days out the week, there's no way you're going to stay the same. Think about it. There's not a male that came into your life, into your story, that got you to change. That should tell you about the dudes that you've been around with. You probably changed at the beginning to try to pretend, and then as time passed, you took your mask off. You're the reason why that man will never accept his call. If your daddy never accepted his call, all you're doing is living your mama life. And I know that. I know how to show you that. I know how to give you a revelation of your story in seconds. If you're listening, I'm going to give you the seed that's going to unlock that portion of you. At the same time, sisters, I need you to give me a puzzle piece. You heard me? A lot of y'all have wisdom, but at the same time, y'all don't tap into it. That's the only reason why you don't feel like you have wisdom. The Bible says all you have to do is ask, and he'll give it to you freely without judging you. You don't like to be judged in that life that you live in, but at the same time, there's a Father that will never judge you, but you're afraid to accept him as your Lord and Savior because you think you still have time. You've been saying that for years, my baby. You heard me? In that world, are you using products that is basically manipulating others? There's a company in your world that's called, I don't know the name, I know the name of, but just listen to the slogan. The slogan says, lose 5 pounds in 5 days. You're manipulating others. There's some of y'all that are chosen that are in those particular groups, and you're trying to fit in. They're telling you what to do, when in actuality, that's not how a chosen's supposed to do business. You're supposed to do business with those that speak your language. You can't do business with somebody that don't speak your language, because you're going to always have to drag them. You're going to have to get them out of the mindset of not seeing that the biggest scam in this world is the 9 to 5. Because in that world, you still believe that a second stream of income, you got to understand, it's your other sisters that's got you with all that multiple stream of income situation, applying pressure to you, and you believe your multiple stream of income is going to get a second job in that world. My baby, where can we go? Think about it. A lot of y'all getting some of these dudes to take you on lavish vacations. A man that you've been manipulating since day one, and nobody supposedly can see it. I see it, because you come from that. You have a trait from that. That's the reason why, just like with some of my sisters that used to be slick at the mouth, my baby, you was never slick at the mouth. It was just a attribute that you changed, that God took from you because he wanted to show you his power. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Anybody learning something? Think about it. Some of y'all know how to sing. Sing like a bird, you heard me? But at the same time, Shaka, I see you, my baby. You remember. The other ones remember too, but I ain't been saying them because they're using their emotions as they're listening to this story, when in actuality, my baby, don't use your emotions, because emotions aren't real. Emotions are just a check engine light assigned by God to alert you of something that you still never gave back to him. So as a chosen, I have the understanding that in their life, you are emotional in their life, because you still don't understand that everything was just a class. Everything was just an audition. Everything, like, for instance, let me paint you a picture. My baby, your life is a movie. Think about it. If you went to Walmart today, let's say you go into Walmart tomorrow, or you went to Walmart today. When you walk inside the building, I need you to understand that 99% of the people that's in there don't know who they are. So if you in Walmart and you find yourself fussing with somebody, or wherever you go in that life you're experiencing without the Lord, I need you to understand that those individuals don't know who they are. So since they don't know who they are, if you think about it, you put emotion in those individuals that have no clue on how to help you to wake up out of your situation. So I know that it has to be lonely in their world. I know what it feels like to know that you're the black sheep of the family and you still have the interest in coming out of that and connecting with your other brothers and sisters that's trying to help others to wake everybody else up. That's all that we're doing. You heard me? Some of us are business, you know what I'm saying? We got some businesses going, if just in case, you know what I'm saying? I asked some of my other entrepreneurs, have y'all figured out how to help? Think about it. There's people that you're assigned to. Just say you're a business owner. You're assigned to other individuals. Have you figured out how a way that they can make money too, so that way they can continue spending money with you as y'all build the community? The community is everybody winning. But at the same time, if you think about it, the community that you go to, everybody not winning. Think about it. When you go to that church, there's only one family that's winning at that particular church, that's putting all their children in the best schools, while your children supposedly don't have nothing much or whatever. They gotta get a scholarship because you sat down and you waited 4 years to actually be interested in trying to get some extra money in that household. But you, at the same time, you kept making an excuse. And each year after year, that baby getting closer and closer, you hear all these individuals talking about business, but you remember that your family don't do business with others. Because guess what? Your family is in business with others, and in that family is a lineage of people that's manipulating the next generation. So you in business, it's just that you don't see your business. You're the CEO. Somebody gonna die, and you're gonna become the top dog. The top dog is usually the grandmother. The grandmother is the one that analyzes everything. Everybody go and tell her business. And Big Mama is a monitoring spirit, and Big Mama don't have the relationship that you're thinking that she have with the Lord, because Big Mama not living out her call. Big Mama making y'all believe that her call is to just take care of y'all and then die off, and now y'all all broken. And then you become the new Big Mama overnight. Everybody looking to you, but you already broken, my baby. You've been broken over stuff that you the one that's breaking. You breaking you, because you choose not to change. As a woman, you choose not to change. Think about it. In a world where everybody want change, they go and get BBLs, they go and get weight loss surgery, they go and get lap band, they're getting all this stuff to change, but the mindset does not change. You 500 pounds, you go lay on the table, they do what they do, you're going to still wake up with a 500-pound mindset. There's gouging that's involved, or whatever the word of it is. You heard me? Some type of spirit where you eat a whole lot of food. Think about it. You know that. But what you do, you just keep eating. You eat your emotions. My baby, as soon as you change your emotion, as soon as you understand that emotions aren't real, who can actually affect you in that world? But you don't understand spirits. And since you don't understand spirits, you're going to be the main target of individuals who know who they are, of that 1%, just like the devil's children. Every family got a set of devil's children. Sometimes it be one of you close, like your brother or your sister, because your brother or your sister actually took on the spirit of your parents, and one of them was a narcissist. But at the same time, in that story, you're going to go off the fact of they treating you like somebody else, when in actuality, my baby, they could never treat you the same. You thought that your brothers or your sisters was actually getting all the attention, so that created resentment towards the particular family or towards your particular siblings, when in actuality that's not what that was. That class was trying to show you that this is how they create other demons, and you're not a part of it. That's all that is. That's why they couldn't treat you the same. You wasn't a part of their class. Choo. Hey, bro, my baby, I can't keep coming here and giving my all to you like this, and you really not paying attention to nothing that I'm saying. You heard me? I'm giving you the game. You still think that your father didn't want you. My baby, that's not what that was. Think about it. You're a mother. While you were a baby, your mom and your daddy wasn't together. In your first situation, think about it. I need you to replay this in your mind. Was your mama and your daddy in love, or was your mama just so happened to be the woman that got pregnant at the time, just like you in your situation? How he know all this? My baby, you make it too easy not to know. You knew that man had other women. Think about it. You've never left home. So chances are there's a certain set of dudes that was actually handsome in your class. And as they get older, y'all all know each other. So as soon as one get out of one relationship, the other one turn. Y'all all taking the same class, and y'all all failing miserably. But at the same time, you still find somebody that's easier to manipulate. Just like, for instance, you break up with one dude, and 2 weeks later, you supposedly in a new relationship, dangling the carrot of your new familiar spirit. And whoever the other airhead was that you just left, he'll think of it as you moved on without him. Um, he gonna want to try to fight old boy. that's some that's some low vibration stuff. You heard me? My baby, think about it. You into this. You heard me? You take part in this. Or at some point you took part in it. My baby, I know I'm reading you like a book. But at the same time, my baby, you can still change. You heard me? The Lord is not going to judge you off of who you was, because at the same time, only you and the people that you know currently can remind you of who you used to be. That's the reason why you got to stay secluded with you and the Father. Because at the same time, you got to think, how much time do you allow other people to tell you what to do outside of God? Don't worry, I'm gonna wait, because you have to understand, whichever side of it that you feed more is a side that wins. And you stay in your flesh. You do fleshly things. You try to be the main attraction to help somebody else, help somebody else boyfriend in your story to struggle. Anytime you post a "show me what you're working with" picture, every man that's following you, and every man and every one of your girlfriends or home girls that has a man that can some way link them, because you got to understand, a lot of y'all be on his page to see what kind of chicks on his stuff. My baby, don't come to my page, because all you're gonna see is women on mine. So if you insecure, you know you would never deal with me, because this would be it'd be too much pressure for you. This is a part of my calling, though. I have to be able to help unlock the mysteries in women. I got to do it for men as well, but at the same time, them ball not gonna come. They're not gonna come consistently. They'll come every once in a while, but they ain't gonna come consistently. Because if they come consistently, they know that they feel that they're gonna have to change. They got a few of them that'll hold conversation with me in the inbox, but at the same time, they're not answering all the questions. They'll try to hurry up and throw another question in right quick before they have to answer one. When in actuality, my brother, I'm trying to unlock that piece of you. Just like with y'all, I'm trying to unlock a piece of you because you're only giving a percentage of yourself on behalf of the life that you're living right now. You're not even at full, you're not even at 100%. You never was at 100%. You only at a percentage of who you really are. Do you understand that? Can you make amends with that? But at the same time, it's all about your connections. You have to break those connections. And the only one that can break those connections is the Lord. You can't do it in your own strength. I tried. I tried for 40 years, you heard, man. And just get yourself frustrated. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to bow down. They're going to take that pride out you. They're going to take the emotions out of it. It's going to take that ego. You're going to go through ego death to where there's nothing that can persuade you to get angry again. Once you feel it, you're going to automatically, Lord, take it. As soon as you feel it, you're going to automatically, Lord, take it. I don't want to have no parts of it. So think about it. Once you get to a point to where you stop playing the game, the people around you going to show themselves on who was what, because as long as you was cool with the game, they was cool with you. But as soon as you step out of the game, that's when you got to understand that the devil wants you back. Spiritual warfare is real. Just like if you're in business right now and you're straddling the fence with the Lord, but you show up, you'll come on, you'll put your products out there or whatever the situation is. But at the same time, you don't have the understanding that you're still connected to the devil's children. And since you're still connected to the devil's children, when you promote your particular business, it's going to fall on deaf ears because at the same time, you're connected to more men than women. So in those men, all those men that follow you, they are all familiar spirits that's waiting for the opportunity to find you in a vulnerable spot. Once they find you in that vulnerable spot, it's going to be like taking candy from a baby because they already know what you're about to do in that world. Because that particular spirit has that same particular keen understanding that I got to go and deal with her for a little bit. The devil himself knows exactly what you like, knows exactly what turns you on, and he continued to send it to you. But at the same time, when he sent it to you, do you recognize it as another test or do you continue to fail miserably? My baby, you can't fail miserably with me because I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you get there. I'm going to let you play with yourself. You're going to hurt your own heart because I'm going to sense your weakness on the first day. And I'm going to play around with it a little while, you know what I'm saying? See what you're going to allow me to help you unlock. And then once I feel like I help you in one area, I can send you into the abyss. Because I know I'm not assigned to everybody, but you're going to eventually remember me. I helped put that seed in there. The Lord planted that seed. And I just spoke it. Here it is. That seed has to grow. I'm loving those of y'all that's starting to come in and starting to show yourself approved. You heard me. Come in there. Give me a minute or two. Tag me to it so that way I can come and support you. Because all my comments gonna make your post blow up at least a little something. But if it don't blow up, it's because you don't have the understanding of how to operate in your garden. I can show you how to do all that. You heard me. It's basically all about cultivating. You got to understand how to cultivate your post. Once you cultivate your post, next thing you know, your particular page go into harvest mode. But you can't have one without the other because a lot of y'all will post something and then go be busy. But all you'll do is continue checking your notifications in that particular world. In that time that you keep checking your notifications, that's your opportunity to spend with the Lord. At what point do you worship God? Is it just on Sundays? because it seemed like some of y'all show up to work late during the week and then show up to church late after worship, after praise and worship, but you still believe that praise and worship is just a song. When in actuality, you can worship the Lord on a day-to-day basis in everything that you do. Everything that I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm worshiping the Lord by holding conversation with him and you only listening. That's all it is. I'm talking to God. I'm holding a conversation with him right now, this whole time. And you had the opportunity to listen to me talk to him. And that's how it goes. You hold a conversation. The words are going to come. The thoughts are going to come. And then you just take it from there because he's going to give it to you. But at the same time, if you don't trust that, you only trust one being. You heard me? I appreciate y'all. You heard me? Hey, I don't rock mustaches. You heard me? I've been stopped rocking that mustache. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all, man. Crazy thing about it, we didn't even go through Proverbs 1. We're supposed to do some Proverbs 1. You know what? Let me read a little something. You heard me? Let me give y'all a little bit more wisdom. The crazy thing about it, I wasn't even supposed to talk about none of this stuff. But here we are. You heard me? Proverbs 1, verse 1 through 6, MSG says, "These are the wise sayings of Solomon, David's son, Israel's king, written down so we'll know how to live well and right, to understand what life means and where it's going, a manual for learning what is right and just and fair, to teach the inexperienced the ropes and to give young people a grasp on reality. There's something here also for seasoned men and women, still a thing or two for the experience to learn." Have you got to so experienced that you can't learn from nobody? I remember sometimes it'll be a situation like, let's say I link up with like somebody that's older. It's like they don't feel like I can teach them something. My baby, you got a puzzle piece that I need from you too. You heard me? So let's figure out what we need to get, because I don't like that little spirit that you coming over. Why you feel threatened? I'm trying to learn with you too. You heard me? Fresh wisdom to probe and penetrate the rhymes and reasons of wise men and women. That was Proverbs 1, 1 through 6 in the MSG. I want to read the whole thing because there's so much meat within that one that I couldn't just pick one scripture here, one scripture there. That's the reason why, no, I'm not going to do amplified. I'm not going to amplify it. I'm going to go to, let's go to the Passion Translation. You heard me? I know we like that one. All right. In the Passion Translation. Oh. Spiritual warfare, y'all. Now this thing supposedly don't want to do what I'm telling it to do. Unbelievable. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna mess with it because I'm not one of the type of people to let time pass. You got people that just don't think about other people. You know what I'm saying? They got stuff to do. I know y'all got to get off this thing. It's almost 8:30 anyway. So I hope that something was said tonight. Maybe tomorrow night we'll be able to get back in Proverbs, because there's some more stuff that I need to talk about, because I know that this ruffles some feathers. But in it ruffling feathers, understand that I don't mean harm. I just came here and I told you like it is on behalf of what you already understand that's actually taking place. So all I did was reveal the spirits that you're continuing to overlook while claiming that you're happy in that world when you don't even remember the last time you was happy. You don't even remember the last time that you were grateful. Well, yeah, you probably remember the last time your girl, somebody maybe bought you something for Valentine's Day or something like that. You was all excited. My baby, think about it. Let's talk about Valentine's Day. Not only are you living a life without the Lord, but when Valentine's Day come around, you have the nerve to help continue the manipulation of another man within your I'm healing season or self-isolation season, whatever you call it. There are women in that world that supposedly get angry that a man doesn't want to spend 5x on something that's going to be $20 the next day. And you get emotional over that. You heard me. You get so emotional that somebody just didn't think about you on that particular day, or better yet, Father's Day come around. You supposedly want somebody to acknowledge you as the father in a world that you don't know who you are. And you expect gifts. You expect a lot of gifts. There's some of y'all that has that mindset. Remember, we talked about the love language in your first relationship when you finally took that particular love language test. Every time you got with a new person, you kept telling them your old information. You've never updated your old information, because if you think about it, you just went through another relationship. So that relationship just was supposed to unlock another portion of you. That way you'll answer the questions different. That way, once you go into the next relationship, you'll have a whole nother different understanding of what you're actually looking for, rather than staying stuck in one avatar. The reason why you stay stuck in that one avatar is because there's only one mode of operation that you can do whenever you deal with an opposite sex on behalf of that familiar spirit. You can only be one way. All you're doing is enhancing that one way, but you still started off by manipulating the particular crowd. You're used to getting what you want every time you show up. You're used to getting all the attention every time y'all show up. You're used to sitting around or standing around in line at Walmart or at different stores dressed provocative. And you want somebody to come and save that. My baby, in front of people, if you dress undisciplined in front of people, who you think about to take you home to their mama? My baby, I know this is hard to listen to, but it's like medicine. It's going to help you. It's going to help lower your blood pressure. Because if you think about it, in that world, you got diabetes on behalf of you eating your particular emotions. My baby, emotions was never real. Whatever type of attribute you gave your particular avatar, that's not even the real you. And you're not trying to find where the real you is at. And there's some real friends and family that's looking for you, but you still don't believe that. Let me show you something. Watch this. You remember the first time you got married? Or let's say the time that you got married? Where did you find that man at? You have never seen him before. He has made you feel like nobody has ever made you feel before. And the reason why you'll say that, I've never said something like this about somebody. But in the same instance of why you're saying that is because you still operate out of your familiar spirit. And there's a multitude of individuals that's going to know that. And as he sees that, hopefully he doesn't take advantage of that particular spirit, because now he done got you to talk with your heart. And that's the reason why a lot of your women in their life, y'all don't talk with your hearts. That's the reason why a lot of women in their life is going to miss certain blessings, because until your heart and your mind are aligned, you can't see those blessings. If somebody asks you what your heart's saying, my baby, you're going to struggle with responding. But if somebody asks you something with your mind, or da 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 da, my baby, you've been hiding your heart for years. Think about it. When was the last time you spoke with your heart? Anybody that got you to speak with your heart, you gave it up to, and continued the cycle, and added you another trophy to your trophy case. And at the end of the day, you blame him, and you thought it was over with, when in actuality, that's the same reason why when you hear his voice, you respond. You heard me? I can't allow you to treat me how you treat those men in your story. So what I'm going to tell you is, I need you to step your game up, because at the same time, this is chess, not checkers. Think about it. You knew how to operate with them dudes in that world, but there's some men that's out here that's doing this that you're attracted to. But at the same time, what will you actually be able to do with that individual? Because the man that you're supposed to marry, if you have marriage, if that's what the desire of your heart is, the man that you're supposed to marry is going to be the man that has to seek God first in order to find you. But you go and look for him and get found by him and then make him believe that you single. That's backwards. You heard me? That's all the way backwards. But that's how you operate. You heard me? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out your hair, man. I know y'all excited about tomorrow. You know, I know y'all the holiday is coming tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I may go a little longer tomorrow night and Saturday night. We'll see. We'll see what we got going on. You heard me. But I think this is what I started talking to the Lord about. As far as the purpose-driven life, I believe that we just need to do that like on weekends. Because I know everybody, you know, throughout the day, everybody supposedly got stuff to go do that don't have nothing to do with their plan or their purpose with the Lord. So we'll start doing those on either a Friday evening or a Saturday evening. Come in and, you know, might as well. What else we got to do? You heard me? Watch something that don't feed our spirit. We can help each other feed each other's spirit and sleep good. You heard me? Some of y'all can't sleep at night in that world because you don't know. And my baby, nobody coming to save you. You heard me? Nobody. Not even you can call the ambulance and the people not coming to see they can't help you. You heard me? You're only operating one way. And as long as you operate one way, you can only see what your mama them said. You're a part of a cult. And this has nothing to do with your church. You come from a cult to show up at a church and try to be blessed among individuals where you're like the monitoring spirit for the devil to keep that church bound because of the spirits that you're connected to on a day-to-day basis on behalf of all your connections. Just think if the church started talking about that, asking everybody about them unbiblical cards, what happens? You got a lot of people going to stop showing up. You heard me? But anyway, I hope that there was something that was said. I don't know. Maybe I lost some friends tonight. You heard me? I'm about to find out because I know my phone going to start buzzing, letting me know that, you know what I'm saying, how much I'm, you know, you weak. You should have never said that and all this other stuff. You know, you made all these women mad tonight and all this, my baby. I'm just trying to enhance you. If you see me as a threat, my baby, you seeing me with that wrong spirit. That's that spirit that's trying to make sure that you don't try to talk to me. I welcome all the conversation. I'm open to one-on-ones, ladies. Don't think you can't talk. We can hold conversation, my baby. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I can help you unlock your board. Once I help you unlock your board, you start to find other individuals that's gonna continue to help you unlock your board. That's how the algorithm works. You heard me? Every particular person. What are you serving? It's like you have a restaurant on your profile. What are you serving? If somebody look at your page, what you serving? You heard me? What kind of meal you giving out? Are you giving out confusion? My baby, you're operating out of the devil. Are you giving out worry, doubt, and fear? My baby, you're operating out of the devil. Are you doing show me what you're working with? Are you doing TikTok dances? My baby, life is like Tetris. When you fit in, you disappear. So you live in a life where nobody even see you. And then the people that actually trying to see you, you don't want to have nothing to do with because they're strangers. Hey, no, Earl. My baby. I hate to see you like this, you heard me? Because you're so smart, you know? You have so much to give to the marketplace. But at the same time, you choose to play small. Let me just say it like this. Your problem is in that world is you like to let them other hoes outdo you. You heard me? Think about it. You let them other hoes outdo you every chance you get. You still don't. You still think such and such prettier than you, and that woman don't even know who she is. Think about it. In that world, y'all dress up for each other. There's men that don't care about none of that. You put your eyelashes on, you go get your wig split, and all this other stuff. You wearing all this tight stuff, just showing your little, showing your little shape or whatever the deal is, competing with some young girls to sit there and then lie to somebody about who you are. Think about it. In none of your relationships, the people ever knew who you were because you didn't know. You found yourself having abortions in that world, stopping the plan of the Lord because you keep stopping yours. You have a plan too. And you, or better yet, you've been in a situation where you've had a miscarriage and you're emotional over that particular situation, and you allow that to become the crutch that you use to tell people your business. My baby, those people that you're telling your business, who they serve. You've been telling the devil your information. You know how they got scams? People get card informations and they run your card up or whatnot. My baby, you've been doing the same. You've been doing it already, giving people your card information. Think about it. There's somebody that remember your social security number in one of those relationships you was with. Now, if something happens with your credit some way, somehow, you would never, who would it be? But you don't remember you was just with the people, with that individual back. Yo, hey. I hope there was something that was said. Man, I see we had almost about 40,000 likes, you heard. Man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate for all the gifts. You understand me. Here's the situation. Anybody that's brand new, my baby, I know that you enjoyed yourself tonight, and I absolutely enjoyed you as well. And I'm going to tell you that I would love to hold a conversation with you, but if you're not ready, I have to be I'm going to understand that. You heard me? So basically what that means is if you decide to follow me back, you heard me. I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to come over to your profile and I'm going to look at your matter of fact, thank you, Holy Spirit. To those of y'all that supposedly have your profiles blocked, showing that your store is closed, my baby, if your profile is blocked, I'm not sending the request, because you send the request to find out what you already knew. I'm not doing that no more. So if your particular profile is blocked and you follow me, my baby, just keep on coming. But at the same time, I'll jump in your inbox, because I know how to pin up the message. That way I'll still be able to communicate with you or whatever the situation is. But at the same time, I'm not in a season where I can allow certain things into my spirit. So I just need you to understand that. But at the same time, as we hold conversations, as you continue to come back, eventually you're going to be okay with finally going ahead and let's clean up that garden. Let's remove the old you and replace it with the new you, with new seeds. You can't change because you have old seeds that's on your page, that's in your garden. And those particular seeds have died and have nobody prayed over your garden. You heard me? You got stuff where you don't have your own identity. You don't have your own thoughts. Everything is supposedly some type of meme that you go and share from somebody else or whatever the deal is, never to have your own particular understanding of your life. And the only time you go viral is on your birthday. Because everybody gonna send you a copy and paste message, but they can care less that it's your birthday. And then some of y'all have the nerve to put your Cash App up there. My baby, don't put yourself out there like that. You heard me? You showing through your pictures that you live an undisciplined life, and then you have the nerve to want to get paid to live an undisciplined life. Maybe I'm just the only one that see this. Maybe I'm too critical, right? You too critical about me. No, my baby, I'm trying to wake you up. You heard me? You keep doing the same thing, going around in a circle. And at the same time, you keep finding them same men that can fall for that. You heard me? Think about it. Same operation. Oh, I'm going to wake you up, Ms. Ellen. You heard me? I'm going to wake you up. But at the same time, you got to be willing to allow the Lord. It don't have nothing to do with me. You got to be willing to allow the Lord to come in that. You heard me? Come into that situation, come into them dark places, so that way he can show you why he is who he is, the great I am. You heard me? Your life is going to be beautiful on this side, not that side. It's going to be hard regardless. You just got to pick your heart. Because at the end of the day, it's really going to always be about you. You heard me? At the end of the day, it's going to always be about you. And guess what? You're now one day closer to never waking up again. About to allow somebody else to tell your story to us, tell your story for you. Think about it. There's some of y'all that y'all are okay with coming across the camera, but at the same time, if you continue to go down on those pages, keep going down on those pages and try to see where the change happened. There was never a change. That individual just learned how to continue to talk on behalf of the few scriptures that they knew. That individual has never came and gave a testimony on behalf of how their story actually went. So that means since they still struggle with their testimony, that means they still struggle with the fact of they've been married before. My baby, nobody cared what you did when you used to, that's who you used to be. But in the same time, if you come into a brand new conversation telling me who you used to be, then you already showing me that you're still not healed in that area. Because you're supposed to be able to tell who you used to be from a healed place. Because it's all about how you choose to tell your story. If you think about it, if you hear something from me and it gives you confused, you get confused about it, I need you to take it up with the Lord or ask me the question again so I can break it down to your understanding. Because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to understand how to be able to give it to you. Because otherwise, you're going to take it in the carnal mind, and in the carnal mind on the stuff that I talk about, you ain't gonna get nothing from this. But if you got the spiritual mindset, you're going to get a whole lot of these nuggets. Listen, I know I felt y'all up. You should be full right now. You heard me. There's no way possible that anybody was able to leave this live without being full. You heard me? Because I don't even feel like nothing came out. So that's a good thing. That means we have some good energy that's in here. And at the same time, let's say a troll ended up showing up at a point in time, that troll is no longer here because this is a safe space. Anyway, y'all be safe, man. I love y'all. You heard, man. There's absolutely nothing that you can do. I'll be back here tomorrow night, same time, 7 o'clock p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. You may catch me early in the morning, like probably about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, but I'll be up here fishing. You heard, man. I like to come fishing about 9, 10 o'clock. Try to get us some new family to come and check us out. You heard me? For the brand new people, I didn't go into Proverbs, but usually we'll go into Proverbs and this thing, but we'll go into the word of the Lord. But at the same time, we didn't get a chance tonight. So I know I got to go through it tonight because I never went through one, but I still believe that he's pleased. You heard me? Because I know I got my little intercessor out there, my intercessor praying. You heard me? I know she probably sweating. You know what I'm saying? That little nose all sweaty right now. That little mouth all small. Anyway, listen. Y'all be safe. You heard me? I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. If the Lord spares life. I need y'all to repeat that. If the Lord spares life. Don't keep going into each day thinking that it's going to be tomorrow. And you ain't got to stay up until midnight to see if tomorrow going to come. Get you some rest. You heard me? Get you some rest. Proverbs 31 was yesterday, my baby. You heard me? We didn't have 31 days, but we did it with 30 and 31 last night. But y'all be safe. You heard me? And I'll be reaching out. God bless.